right, welcome back. It's episode 2. I missed last week, so I'm just gonna talk about chapter 18 and 19 together. Just my raw thoughts of the Mandalorian season 3, episode 2 and 3. So I mean, more or less, let's get right into it. So episode 2 starts off with a race like in episode 1 on Tatooine, which is really cool. I'm not sure if that was like really what was going on, but of course you see an alien and he goes to talk to I believe her name is Pelly, and he's like, I want my ship fixed, and she's like, yo, like, it's gonna take a lot of extra time and a lot of extra money. So of course, it reveals that she's working with the Jawas, to scam people. All of power to her. Who cares? And so she leaves and she like makes a deal with the Jawas. She's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give you a cut. You give me the pieces back that you stole from this guy. We'll work it up. We'll recolor it so it looks like it's some new pieces. It'll all work out." So then Mando comes in, with Baby Yoda, who's like leaping now like a Jedi. Like, I understand he got training with Luke. I just didn't expect him to, wahoo, like right out of this ship. That was pretty funny. It was just caught me off guard. So Mando comes in and he's asking for a replacement IG-11 memory circuit, which, he wants just a recon droid to look out for the Mandalore planet. I think it's called just Mandalore, and he just wants a recon droid to be like, "Oh, is the air safe? What's coming up when they go to scout it?" And so Pelly is like, "Hey, listen, I got the perfect job for you. It's R5 from the original trilogy," which is kind of cool, kind of whatever. I feel like now we're getting into Star Wars. We're like, okay, the planet is way too big to, not the planet, the galaxy is way too big to be bringing in like, oh, remember this droid from that one time? Whoa! Like, here it is. Like, okay, come on. Like, what are the chances R5 is coming in here? All right, but he's back in the picture, and so Mando agrees to take him. He's like, "Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll take this little nugget droid, whatever." And they leave, which was on a celebration time for Tatooine, which I'm not sure. It might have been like, I don't know, an anniversary of like the Empire leaving or something. I'm not sure what the celebration is, but there's fireworks in the air, so it's very cool. And so they finally, reach the orbit of Mandalore. And of course, the planet's just very destroyed and distraught, and there's just no sign of life whatsoever. So Mando's like, okay, well, like, I can't communicate with people outside the atmosphere once we enter the surface. And so he tells R5, go out, scout ahead. And, I think the Mandalorian show is definitely, you could see it's coming way more into itself with these set designs. We're finally leaving to go see different interesting planets. We're finally seeing Mandalore for the first time in live action, which is super cool. And I just thought like the set design for it was just amazing, for being like a destroyed planet. Okay, so to continue on, R5 I believe he gets captured or he hides, and he turns on his like recon part. So Mando goes in to look for him, and he has to pressurize his suit, which was kind of cool. And so he gets attacked by he gets attacked by some cavemen, which is really cool. Like these cave type beasts that I thought was just super interesting. So he finally whips out the dark saber and he starts whipping ass. You know how he is. He's Mandalore. And no, he frees R5, takes him back to the ship, and they're like, oh, okay, wow, it's been a whole lie. The air isn't poisonous this whole time like we thought it was. So we can go out and we could search for the mines of Mandalore and finally find this, I believe, what are they looking for? Like just a bath? They're looking for like some type of ritual water. The mystic baths of the mines, that's what they're looking for. So, him and Grogu go out looking, and Mando digs up some old armor, and he's like, yo, what the heck is this? Only to be attacked by like some big droid bug type thing that looks straight out of the Matrix. That was pretty cool. The design for it was amazing. And so he gets attacked, and Baby Yoda, does a crazy flip like he does now, and he goes in the ship, and Mando gets captured, and he's like, oh shit, you know what? I might have fucked up here. And he's incapacitated. I don't know what the word is. He's basically out for the count, and he's telling Grogu, he's like, yo, get back to the ship, go find Bo. I don't know. I thought that was kind of like rushed series of events. I got captured, go get Bo. And Bo was like, yo, I don't want any part of this shit. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm kind of mad. So then Baby Yoda, Grogu, goes on the ship, and he goes to Bo, and Bo's like, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell them basically to F off when they get here. And she sees that Mando's not with him, and she's like, yo, who am I supposed to yell at? Okay, let's go get him. So her and Grogu go all the way back to the planet where Mando, that droid, it was an alien droid type of hybrid. It's very cool. He was like he was about to do some tests on Mando, about to like just, I don't know, do something with him. And Bo whips out her guns. She starts kicking ass. She kills him, and then he goes into his ship, the undead corpse that you thought was dead. And I believe she beats him with the Darksaber, which was really cool. So, just to skip to the end, she frees Mando. They have like a nice conversation. They start talking like friends. She talks about her past with the Jedi, like when she's talking with Grogu. It was really nice. And they start going through the city, which was really cool because the last time you see it is that we were in the Clone Wars. I don't think you've ever seen, Mandalore in live action. So it was cool to see like the city as it was buried, but just in live action form, which was really cool. It looked really good. I thought the set design was really good. Their special effects is like top tier in this show. It's crazy. Just, I don't know, movie like acceptable for sure. But they finally find the mind of Mandalore. And so, Mandalorian Din Djarin takes off his cape and all that. I was like, oh shit, he's about to get fully. I was like, whoa, this is about to get crazy. No, he just takes off the cape and he goes for a little swim. He's like, hee hee ha ha, this is fun. But then he sinks down. I guess just because of his heavy armor, he falls into like a cliff chasm of the mines of Mandalore. I thought, as you come to find out, Bo dives for him, and you see the mythosaur still in the water, gigantic as hell, and it's so crazy how big it is, and that's just what I wanted to see, and it's kind of cool. Leading into episode 3, I'll get more into that, but I just hope they come to fight the mythosaur. I think it'd be really cool to take back Mandalore. That's how maybe the series ends, maybe the show, maybe the season ends. However it ends, I just hope that it ends with the mythosaur. I think that would be such a cool story to tell, is them fighting it and retaking control of the planet. But that's how it ends. And so episode 3, chapter 19, which is called The Convert, and this is where the whole series kind of takes a different direction. So it starts off with Mando regaining his consciousness, and he's like, am I redeemed? And Bo's like, yo, I witnessed it. So Mando takes like a little test tube, and he gets some water, and he's like, okay, this is it. This is the Mando water. It's whatever. And she's like, hey, did you happen to see anything down there? And Mando's like, no, I didn't see anything down there. And so, she's like, okay, whatever. You know what? Not my this is the definition of not my problem. I do not care for that right now. So, they leave the mines of Mandalore and they start heading back to Bo's planet. And so in the middle of space, they actually get attacked by Imperial ships, little, like, I forget what they're called. I don't know. The ships that go... you know what I'm talking about. So it was cool. So Mando's like, yo, let me, drop me off at my ship. I will, I'll kick their ass, simply put. So it was kind of cool seeing them work together as, I don't know, two Mandalorians. I know this might be controversial, but I like seeing them work together more than adding Boba Fett to the mix. If you want my opinion, I just think they totally just did a whole character assassination on Boba Fett, but I'm not going to get into it here. I'm sure, if you guys want to hear me talk about, other aspects of Star Wars, I totally can. But, so, they work together. He gets in his ship. I really loved when he just takes a total dive, in the middle of the dogfight, down to his ship, because he has the jetpack, of course, and he, I don't know, I just thought that was super cool. He's nose diving down to his ship, and you just see the other Imperial ships fly right past him. I thought that was a really cool aspect. So they have a dogfight in the air. Of course, they win, and they start heading back to Mando's ship, and Bo finds her castle is bombed, and she's not having it. She's like, "Yeah, okay, if this is about to be round 2, I'm about to take y'all with my castle." And so she goes to, attack them. And turns out, no, there's a whole army of Imperial ships. So Din's like, yo, we got to get that F out of here. And so it was kind of cool. It was kind of weird, too, in a way. The whole action sequence was cool. But it's kind of oh, how is the Empire returning this strongly? I know this might not be the mass majority favor, but I just don't want the new First Order to take in. I don't know. I kind of just want to leave the sequel trilogy out of The Mandalorian. I just don't think it belongs. I think you just tell such more interesting stories without including the sequel trilogy. But, that's not the direction they took in this episode. So, we'll see in the future. So he's like, yo, I know a place we can go hide. And I guess I'll just skip to the end since that's where the episode goes right back to Mando, because we're about to get into the main chunk of the episode. But he goes back to his clan, and he's like, hey, yo, I did it. No one first accepts him until he takes the water sample to the armorer. And she's like, okay, yeah, you're right. And you haven't taken your helmet off since. And she looks at Bo and she's like, yo, you haven't taken your helmet off since? And Bo's like, no. She kind of seems very hesitant. Yo, I don't want to join these this weird cult. But so sorry. No. Mando's redeemed. He starts. I bet that song, "Man of the Year," "Man of the Year" starts going through his head because he's like, "Yo, I'm redeemed. I'm the redeemed one, boys. I'm back with my family, back with the cult." And Bo's kind of hesitant, but she's like, "Okay, whatever. I'll probably take my helmet off to get some food, whatever." So I thought that was kind of funny. So then we dive into the main chunk of the episode, which is you follow the scientist L52. And it starts off, so you go back to Coruscant. That's where it starts off. And I thought that was super cool. I'm like, well, you haven't seen Coruscant since episode 3. So it's really kind of like a breath of fresh air to be back on Coruscant, see how massive the city is, the massive the whole world is. And I think later on in the episode, they go on to say it's a few trillion residents just on Coruscant alone, which is just awesome. So with the set design they had here, taking the mundane life of L52 for a while as he, just tries to work for the Republic, has an if you guys don't remember him, he was I believe the scientist from the first season that wanted to work with cloning on Grogu. So they circle right back to him, and he is working for the Republic now. And he's just trying to adjust to life. And I thought it was pretty cool. I know might be stupid, but the set design to me worked with it because the planet is so big. And I think having like these boring, everyday, mundane environments really goes to show like my life could be more exciting, and he wants to continue his research because that's where his heart's at. That's where his soul's at. It doesn't seem to me that he wants to work with, the Empire anymore, and he doesn't care for the Republic. I think to me, his faith and his heart rely on just trying to continue his research, which I thought was super interesting. And I think the environment's just, set that in stone. It just sucks. He's like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, he's like, I kind of liked my life at the Empire, not working for the Empire. Excuse me. But just doing what I felt was right for the galaxy, and that was continuing his clones research. So he befriends. I didn't remember getting her name. I believe through my notes here, it's G68. That was her name. So he befriends G68, which worked for the Empire, and she's like, I always kind of admired your work. They spend a lot of time together. They hang out at this carnival type aspect of the Coruscant, which was cool. You learn more that they're on, like, not necessarily like house arrest, but like they're under arrest in the facility that they can't really leave, but they're free, and this episode tries to express to you like they're not under like heavy what's the word for it, like regulations. They're still free people. They're just like, hey, like we want to make sure this rehabilitation works out fine. And for the most part, I kind of did like watching the episode. Obviously, it diverged from what Mando was doing, and I'm sure you could say that that it kind of reflects Boba Fett's show in a way, and that like his episodes like diverged into talking about Mando's story. I would disagree. Because I feel like this dives into the more bigger story, whether you want it to or not. I feel like this talks about what's to come in Mando, whereas Boba Fett was kind of setting up what's to come in Mando in a way, and where it's like, okay, well it's not Mando's show, you don't need to talk about it. Where this, I feel like it was nice to see more Coruscant. It was nice to see how people lived. I enjoyed it. I obviously kind of was a slog, but I'm like, okay, well, it was interesting. If this is the story they want to tell, it's interesting to me, and to see where it all is going to lead up near the end of the finale. Probably stepping away from the Mythosaur, I believe. So that was it. So him and this girl team up, and she's like, hey, like, I know you really want to do your research. We could sneak back onto the Imperial ship, and we can go steal you a mobile base. So that's what they do. There's a whole train sequence that they take where they're trying to sneak on the train and like not really cause attention to themselves and not pay for tickets, because if they pay for tickets, obviously it would show their location where they're not supposed to be, considering they are supposed to be at the rehabilitation center. I forgot what the name of it was, but not really that it matters. It begins with an A. The Amnesty Program. Amnesty Program? Whatever it was called. So they uncover the lab on an old Imperial ship. They find, they get off the train, and he's like super excited. He's like, yo, I can finally continue my research. And I was genuinely happy, but like, you knew something was coming, because she just has that face of just someone that's evil for sure, and so they get caught by the Republic, and this is where it gets kind of confusing, because to them, I assume she put out like a distress call or something I guess you could maybe pick up during the episode, but I didn't pick it up at all. Maybe they didn't shoot it at all, where she's working with the Republic to get him captured only to get him rehabilitated again. And so his part of the episode ends off with him going through another type of hypnotization. I don't know. But she's like, oh, can I stay to watch my friend? He's kind of a close friend for me. And so there's no one on guard, but she amplifies his rehabilitation. Now I'm just more curious. Where is this going? Where is this story going to go? I don't know. What was the outcome of that? I'm just really interested to see where it goes. Obviously, this episode was more of a slow burner, and you got to see other aspects of life on in the Star Wars galaxy, which I thought was really interesting. So I am curious to see where it goes. Other than that, I don't have many other thoughts other than it was cool to see Coruscant again. I just think it's a planet they don't really explore, so it was kind of cool to see the mundane life. Or what happens with stormtroopers when they're trying to get rehabilitated. I did like the episode. That's it. I'm excited to see what comes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next week when episode 4 drops. So thanks again for listening. Cardi back, shawty wanna live, shawty wanna live, shawty wanna